There's a lot of things that will change. I will try and point out the things that have changed. Okay, first things first. Uh, you should notice something rather dramatic in front of us when we first zone in. So this is what you're greeted with when you zone in. Okay. So first things first, I did some funky shit with this gate. You'll notice that I've got logic gates up here. Got logic gate blocks. So what happens is you can switch the switches on and off, or on, off and on, whatever, and you can do it from that switch over there too. However,
we taught him a lesson this time.
I've now got wall-mounted spotlights, and if they spot an enemy, as you guys probably know, it will sound a siren. However, because of the way that I've done the logic gates,
Yeah.
once the siren goes off, watch what happens. The gate automatically shuts, and I cannot use either this switch or the one on the outside to open the gate. It won't work. It cancels the power to those two switches.
Crop's coming in pretty good.
Alright guys, don't panic, everything's fine. And when I switch off the siren,
Those uglies will think twice before
the gate
messing with us
opens again. And power is restored to both switches. So that's quite nice. Got that done. Yeah, the building takes no prisoners. We'll get there. We'll get there. I did a little bit more work over here. We're just kind of making it look a little bit more farm-like. So it should, from a distance now, look more farm-like than it did already. Got a little tractor in there, and I put these trees in just to give it a bit of flavour around here. Nothing too out of the ordinary for the landscape that's around here. And then I will get to the building. There's quite a lot in there, which is why I'm holding off on doing it just for a sec. Now, do you remember I was talking about the caravan spots? There are a few people, as you can see. I've not got her quite right. She's leaning on something non-existent at the moment. Now, each one of these, and I'll show you. These are individually placed items that you can choose what is on there. So I've kind of mixed it up. So this is where they'll stand, and their feet are pointing in the direction, and then, you know, I've got objects. This is a seat that this person, Cricket from Bunker Hill, can come and sit on. She can also use this weapons workbench. But Carla, who is that vendor over there, won't interact with these objects, and no other settlers will. Just Cricket, when she's visiting this base, will. As well as that, Cricket's Brahmin will only drink from Cricket's Brahmin feeder, which just so happens to be this one. As you can see, Cricket's Brahmin feeder. Carla's will only drink from that one, and Lucas's will only drink from that one. There's 4 travelling vendors, so I've got just a normal caravan spot for the 4th here. So we've got Lucas's area here, where he'll stand and sit and interact with things. We've got Cricket's spot, which will do the same, and obviously, as you can see, Carla is currently doing her thing at the moment. So she'll only interact with these objects. That's her seat there, so that's why she sits there. No other settler will sit there. I need to tweak it a bit so, you know, she's got something to lean on properly, because I didn't quite do what I was expecting. So I did that just to organise where people are going when it comes to the travelling tradespeople kind of thing. I tweaked the market a bit, so we've now got people over here behind the stalls. in all the guns and places. These people aren't wearing Brotherhood of Steel stuff yet, but they will. I tweaked the look of these things just a little bit, and I seem to have got that fucking bar the wrong way round. That's interesting. Okay. A little tweak for me to do at some point. That's fine. So, that's what happens when you're doing stuff at 1:45 in the morning, having only been awake for 15 minutes. As well as that, I added a couple of Brahman feeders in here because you do get a spare Brahman sometimes. I also added a couple of kennels in case I decide to buy any of the dogs, because other dogs are available rather than just dog meat. But we also have this as well, a little Brotherhood of Steel pod over here that I basically set up so for my power armor. I went back and got those two pieces of X01. I did a Vault-Tec paint job on this one, and then an Enclave paint job on this one. So you've got slightly different eyes and slightly different colouring on them. But this is where I can walk in, do my power armor shit, and then, you know, it's also quite nice at night because these windows, although they're quite filthy to look at the moment, at night with the way the lights come from this and also from this and this either side, you get a nice silhouette of a glow of power armor when you're walking past this room. It's quite nice. And then I made a couple of tweaks in here too. Made this into more of an office because this was my power armor stuff. So this is now kind of just a little office in here. Just some bits and bobs around. And I completely decorated the bedroom as well, so it's not just a garage now. We've got a fully decorated room with clutter and things like that. And I enclosed the walls here, as you can see. So there's this used to be the Red Rocket garage, of course, so this garage hole has now been filled up. I sunk the Brotherhood of Steel plates into the wall so it looks fairly well disguised, and got a relatively interesting desk and stuff.
As honest work gets.
So, the main base itself, I'll give you just a brief look from above. So that's kind of how it is at the moment. There are reasons why certain things are certain shapes. I haven't finished with this side, for example. I'm considering building something out because there's a lovely big gap here in the middle. So I might actually be using the top line of this as a corridor for people to get to somewhere else. But that's for another idea for another time. On the roof, we've got kind of the tops of church steeples just to give that kind of religious piety thing that the Brothers still have. And it's possible these are a little bit odd at the moment, so I won't focus too much on those because they're not great at the moment. I have found a way to clad using this using the Brotherhood of Steel stuff that's on the side of this, being able to clad that on the outside of this, so I might be able to turn almost all of the building into that dark steel colour along with the lighter metallic colour that I've got either side of the window blocks. But I did a little bit of a test with it and it didn't quite work the way that I wanted to. It looked a bit more patchworky than I was wanting it to look. And obviously you'll notice that we've also put around a bunch of flags, Brothers of Steel ones of course. And then inside, obviously you've got, as you probably saw, you've got stairs going in. That's for settlers to get into because they can't use elevators, so they go up there to go to bed or go and do whatever they're going to do. I've tended to use this though. There's a defensive area here, as you can see. There's my Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, fully kitted out. They've got M16s as well. Look,
If you ain't been up to see Great
nice
Guy,
little
you should
M16
go.
there.
Whole place is run by robots.
Those uglies will think twice before
And then
messing
on the
with us.
second floor we've got an area that if I'm inside the base I can come to here and I can snipe pretty much 360 of the base from here. Pretty much. So I don't have to go all the way down to the ground. And I can also go up to the roof if I really want a full 360. Now, bear in mind, I haven't finished the lighting in here, okay? So this is why I'm doing it during the day. So we've got kind of a bit of an open area here, which I've not done much with so far. And to the left over here, we've got our eating area. So we've got food related things, and they can obviously chill out in here and eat. We've got a bar over here. Some like pinball games, a little drinks dispenser in the corner, and then over here we've got a kind of recreation area which I've not, as you can see, not done a massive amount with. There's no pictures or cabinets with clothing or towels or anything. I've just literally put this stuff in, and this might be changing because of something that I'm considering doing, which is why I've been fucking around with the walls here, which is why it was wonky and why there's a gap up there. I was fiddling around with something and I thought, no, I'm not going to do this until I can focus on it, because I'm going to change my mind in all sorts of ways. So I literally just dumped the corner blocks back in. They're not particularly neat, are they? Look, I just dumped them in. But anyway, so yeah, this will be this is kind of just a recreation room of sorts at the moment. And then over here you've got one of the bedroom areas, so lockers, and obviously I put my robot making machine and my iBot machine as well in here. Some more beds, put a tiny bit of clutter around, nothing too fancy or amazing. And then down here is where the rest of the beds are. And I put things like, you know, shower units and sinks and things like that. And as well as that, I actually gave them a bathroom as well, with toilet holders. I know, the detail. So yeah, forgive these bits, it's not quite finished. So that's that floor. And then upstairs we go up onto the roof, and so you can come up here. I've not really done much in the way of, I was considering doing a rooftop barbecue type area up here, but I decided against it. I might still do it, but I thought it might look a bit stupid up there, but we'll see, we'll see. And unless I can think of anything else that's been upgraded since the video and since I gave you guys a tour the other day, I think that's it. I mean, there's now, I put some well, this isn't even important, but from a distance it makes it interesting to me. I put some bits like this around as well, just that's not performing any function, but it's something that looks like it does. And I also put some machines in our power room as well, just to make it look somewhat engineering in here. Well, that was good timing for that rad storm, wasn't it? Cheers, Cadies. I assume that was you or Luna. Thank you, Luna, if it was you. So yeah, we've got lights around, and we've got flags. Took me a bit of fiddling around because I noticed at one point all the flags were flying in different directions to each other. So yeah, that would have annoyed me if I'd not fixed that. That's the kind of thing I wouldn't be able to leave. Excuse me. And I've also put up a little map of Nuka World 2, just for quick reference if I need to. Yeah, cheers, caddies. And here's one of our bots. Oh, I could actually rename him. He's just called Automatron. That's not good. We'll have to change that. So yeah, that's what I've done so far in this base. So yeah.